Okay, snakes have quite the army out here. Maybe they're gonna actually counterattack. Oh my gosh, they're actually counterattacking. At least they're thinking about it. Look at that, they're going across the desert. They're doing it. The first time another kingdom has done something.
Oh, let me tell you about Gorg.
They left their kingdom. Please actually go. Please actually do it. I would love to see it. Someone
I think I said it right. And I think I didn't spell it right when I was typing it in. But it's 4 digits. Since I'm 27, I can call it whatever I want. Anyway, I might call it digits in my game. If I can't fucking find these fucking letters, dude. He calls them digits. It's like, what the fuck? You know, and I'm just like, oh, it's smart, it's clever. They're called digits. I mean, since I'm programming everything from scratch, since I've been calling things whatever the fuck I want when I'm building out these models, it's kind of leaching out into real life. I'm like, why don't I just call that shit that in real life? I'm looking at a fucking cat, I'm like, why don't I just call that a fucking scabobbly? You know, we have to have some sense. I think nonsensical stuff is probably demonic. But you know what I mean. All right, so it has to make some type of sense to you, but because I can walk around this house all day and literally talk to myself, but it does never get demonic because I'm always making sense. So I'm in communion with the Lord. That's you know, you gotta make compromises with the Lord. I don't know if that's I'll just make sense. I feel like it's not a compromise. I prefer that. I would ask for that, actually. Like, Lord, please let me make sense. I can actually pray about that now, but I just did by saying it. I think it's that simple. So, Gorg, I enjoy watching your gameplay, and you know, I just making this game that I'm talking about now, and I love Worldbox. It's the only game I actually can watch right now. Anybody play is the only game I can play as well, and so like it's really fun, and I'll never talk shit about Worldbox at all. Even though I'm making my own game, I have respect for game developers and people that play games online. 100%. Take my money, Gorg. I don't know. I do feel like I feel weird to talk to you about my game because I feel like you're the developer of Worldbox. And I'm like, let me just let him promote his game. You know, he's doing it right. I love the content. I'll watch it forever. You know, I don't want to piss him off. I feel like you're cool as fuck, though. You're cool as fuck. Yeah, I literally heard you in the video saying, like, shout out, like, if you want to talk about anything else. And I'm like, literally, he's, like, welcoming. And I'm just making excuses. I can't log into my Instagram. And like, if I was like DM you, I was gonna slide in your DMs. Pause, I guess. So like, yeah, I saw your picture, but I couldn't log in. I was like, okay, that's how he looks. I was like, what if he was black? I don't know. So literally, oh yeah, so Worldbox. Why I love your videos so much is because you're using your imagination, bro. It's the sandbox. It's the sandbox people we used to play in as little kids in elementary school, where you just pull a dinosaur out or you pull Spider-Man out of the sandbox and you just, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's a fucking chicken in the sandbox. And then fight them, and literally, it's simulation of like, just so beautiful, bro. I could literally even cry. So like, I've played the game hella times. Have it on my phone, have it on PC. I've modded it. I literally try to make mods with GPT around like the era I had it on my laptop, and I was getting there. But at this point, I got to do something with my life, and I'm like, I love these type of things, and I would love to make a game like Worldbox, where someone could play and use their imagination and basically just go on forever with whatever. I feel like you learn. I feel like it's good. I feel like the content obviously benefits you. It's benefiting the viewer. It's story. It's cave paintings. It's everything. So that's what Wastepad is trying to give the user, something they can even export directly from the game and upload directly to any social media site. See, the caveat is when you go to Wastepad, it doesn't really look like Worldbox. But I demand and I promise it's gonna give you that of what I explained, that Worldbox gives you. And it won't be a replacement. I love a world where everything exists. And it's a compliment to this game. It makes it better. It makes you want to go back and play Worldbox. I don't have time to play Worldbox anymore. I end up just watching you. I want, after, like when I get some time to actually settle down, I would love to sit down and play Worldbox forever. It's a great game, especially the fact you can mod it and with AI and all this other stuff. So it's brilliant. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to jump a little further in the future with the AI stuff. Not saying that this is like a completely AI like generated game. It's definitely it's AI built, AI prompted. I don't know how you say it, vibe coding or whatever, but I'm vibing out straight from my imagination. It almost feels like I'm playing Worldbox when I'm adding to this game in a way, and it's been very fun. I don't know. I just would love, and the game's by no means the game is finished. That's not what I'm saying. I'm very much in the beginning stages, but as far as the UI, that's practically how the game's gonna look when it's finished, believe it or not. It's not gonna be as simple as having users draw everything. It's gonna be a mixture of that and a powder game. I loved powder games when I think it's called Powder Games. I love that game because it felt like Minecraft before Minecraft. And it very much was like Minecraft before Minecraft in a 2D square. And so I'm taking like creative like inspiration from that, and I've made it like an iPhone square. And because I'm thinking in the future, I want a handheld device that's solely running this game. I think this is a game. It sounds icky to say it, but like a everything in one. I mean, if you're gonna be drawing it, I don't know what you're gonna draw. But the simulation of the war and the simulation of the real life events and stories and stuff like that, I want to give that all to you. And then I want this technology to continue to build into something that's even more than a video game for the user as well. I mean, what if I imagine a user taking an idea in their head of a character, specific character, and drawing that character and then playing that character either like a video game or just directing it like a movie script with your voice. Gorg, I love how you literally like your jokes and everything, like the dialogue. And if the game could hear you, I'm starting to say now, if the game could hear you, and let's say you could talk over the world and it's not like affecting the people, but you could talk over the world and it affects the people, and the game would just kind of determine what your intentions are. So it wouldn't feel any different. I want you to be able to hop on Wastepad and play it exactly like Worldbox. Exactly the same way. I don't want you to feel any different. I want you to forget you're playing Wastepad, and I want you to think you're playing Worldbox, and like, I want muscle memory to kick in. That's how I know I actually succeeded. And I want you to be talking, and the game's not interrupting you or being stuttery. You're like, being like, bro, I think the game is like listening to me. I want you to have that feeling, because you've had that feeling before. I know you had to have had that feeling before. Where it's like the game's listening to me, or can they hear me? But I want that to actually be happening. But I want you to be in control of it. I like the whole imagery of you're a god with the advertisement and the world box stuff. So the religion, all that stuff is really a lot of the early stuff I'm working on. So I'm basically trying to put the entire world in that little square. I'll tell you a little idea of how the map size works. That square you're standing on is like a little section of the entire planet in 2D version. I wish I had this other game. I'm going to put it on the screen to show you an example, because I don't know the name of it. But it's not just that square you start off in. It's like 990 squares wrapping all back around to that same square. Then you can go up into the sun or the moon or whatever, and that's the distance. It is like billions of squares, basically. Or millions. It's millions. I don't know the exact number, but it's millions of squares. And most of it's just dead space and the distance to the moon and the earth. But, I mean, it's a lot of possibility. Everything's completely white, but there's like invisible renderings of the world happening in the background, ready to pivot depending on what you're going to make. But basically, you'll start off, this is how the game starts off. Complete white square, like I'm saying. You'll have to draw it. But imagine it was just a random day in 2007 in the middle of Kansas. Just randomly, at a random time. That's the game's default. The sun's there, everything's operating. It's completely white though. And then maybe you start being like, I want to do Jack and the Beanstalk. I want to draw a beanstalk. The game will pivot. You know what I mean? Like, it's not being generated, so now that the game sees your intention, it'll use less processes to generate the world and just focus on what you're doing. So the game's gonna be following your intention. You can tell any story in any time period. But that's where the game's at. Literally, if you go there right now, you'll see 2007. You can fast forward, it'll go through all the years. And it's completely white. I mean, you could think, and look, this is so fun to build with AI because it could completely be lying to me. The concept's hilarious though. I'll give you another example of how it works. Let's say you're on that field. And you drop down some grass so you can see it. The game will actually, like, it's supposed to take the grass you just dropped down and not change anything about how the game's working, but just now you can see the grass. Like, it's rendering how you put it in. So now the game's like, okay, you see that part of the grass, but it still knows, and the other grass is still connected. Characters you don't give them food immediately. They'll eat invisible food in the environment until you put the real food, and then they'll prefer that. And it builds up from invisible, from nothing to like something, and plus your intention. So the user has creative freedom to draw whatever they want. There's probably gonna be an issue when you can monetize this stuff, like people taking likeness. For example, you could draw a world box map. Now this is in 2D, but I'm trying to get it in top down as well because I see certain fragments of how that works. So it's gonna be 2D and top down, and it should be seamlessly. But you could draw an entire map of world box, like exactly like world box, from scratch. And then basically just play world box inside of it. I don't know if that's like sacrilegious or that's like evil, but you could do that with anything in this game. So I'm literally like, what is you're drawing it from scratch. The AI is not, the AI is going to be the language model that's narrating or talking back to you. It's not going to be, you're gonna have to make everything from scratch. The AI is just so there's a mind in the system.
That's cool too, but it's weird they got rid of the old one. You can't even